Swift is hugging the rail, and it's 4 lengths back already to TikTok, who's going to do the best running in the later stages of this race. Grand Slam home run, and Crystal Conning assumed command by half a length. Elemental right there on the outside with Arroyo. Taylor B. Swift, the people's choice, is tracking from 2 lengths behind, and then it's another 5 back to TikTok. Eckleberry's getting busy on that one, trying to encourage her to close in on these front markers. Grand Slam home run, trying to hit the big one here from Elemental and Taylor B. Swift on the outside, and they hit the top of the Canterbury stretch, and it's Grand Slam home run and Elemental, but here comes Taylor B. Swift on the outside. She's lost 3 in a row, but she's trying to shake it off this time, and Taylor B. Swift, living up to the name, swooshing on by and making sweet music in the first. Taylor B. Swift in front. In the gate, and they're off. Lake Lady was a little slow to begin, along with Miss Kitty Russell. Showing speed in between horses is a little bit Alexis, joined by Lockett down to the outside. Inside comes Chaplin. Outside of that one comes Nordic Queen. And Lake Lady will be the last one by the judges as they bank into that first turn. And the long shot, a little bit Alexis and Zeke Laura lead it by a measured length from Lockett down. After that, it's 2 lengths back to Chaplin and Carlo Lopez, who are getting a great trip in third. Nordic Queen, the favorite's got 5 to make up. Then we come back to Diggs 1, saving ground on the inside, shadowed there by Miss Kitty Russell. And Lake Ladies at the back of the pack, 10 lengths from front to back. The opening quarter mile goes in 23 and 2, and a little bit Alexis is still there dictating terms, and now opening up to a full-length lead on Lock It Down. Chaplin is starting to close in smartly. Then we come back 4 lengths to Nordic Queen. Inside of that one comes Diggs 1. Lake Ladies trying to unwind, but still has 9 to make up. 46 and 4 to the half mile, and the long shot is all out to hold off the lead now because Lock It Down's making the move, and Lock It Down takes the lead away. Chaplin tries to follow that one. Diggs 1 is making a smart move from mid-pack as they head to the top of the Canterbury stretch, and Lock It Down trying to do just that and lock this race down. Chaplin looking for divine intervention, and on the outside is Diggs 1. Final football field they come, and Lock It Down going to try to hold off Diggs 1. Lock It Down, Diggs 1 charging. Lock It Down, Diggs 1. Lock It Down indeed. And they're off. Smooth beginning, including the inside marker Profound 1, trying to be the right one, taking the lead from Dare a Big Dream. On the outside of that one is Twilight Liaison. Through from the inside comes Valley Vista. Shadowing that one is the favorite Bitcoiner. Then it's a couple lengths back to Coach Happy and Irish Tough, and Alonzo Quinones can see them all, but just 6 lengths from front to back. And Kelsey Har and that ponytail still lead the way with Profound 1 by a length and a piece from Dare a Big Dream. In between horses, here comes the favorite Bitcoiner. Bitcoiner making a sharp move. Valley Vista on the inside of that one. Coach Happy is coming wide on the grandstand side, but Profound 1 is still the one as they bank around that turn. Profound 1 from Bitcoiner, and they turn down that straightaway and they run down the Canterbury stretch, and Profound 1 trying to take them all the way. Dare a Big Dream on the outside. Bitcoiner spinning the wheels. Dare a Big Dream now going right on by. Dare a Big Dream from Coach Happy, who's charging, but Dare a Big Dream and Chad Lindsay press then pounce in time. And they're off. The field comes off to a perfect dispatch. One from the rail is rocked his way. Inside comes Kenny Do It. The pace looks hot early. Just off those horses comes River Rose. Then we come to Side Street Dave. Through from the inside is Bourbon Tan. Outside of that one is I'm a Harley 2. And the last horse away is Hattie's Jewels. They run past the judges and bank around that turn. And Crystal Conning and Kenny Do It take the short lead away from Rocked His Way. Side Street Dave will not allow this pace to slow down. They go breakneck fast, 22-2 to the opening quarter mile. And those three have gone 5 lengths clear of River Rose and Zeke Laura. Outside of that one comes I'm a Harley 2. Bourbon Tan restrained there on the inside, 7 lengths from those leaders. Then it's Tallest of the Tall. Chocolate Ice Cream is going for an early race move. Chocolate Ice Cream, one of the favorites, is on the move. Hattie's Jewel still got 12 to make up, and they're still going fast. 45-2 to the half mile, and Chad Lindsay and Rocked His Way. It's a short lead. They lead Side Street Dave by a neck. River Rose is closing in coyly. Following that one is Bourbon Tan. Oh, Chocolate Ice Cream steadied sharply there from 5 lengths off the pace. Still Rocked His Way with that neck in front. On the outside, River Rose is charging. Then we come to Bourbon Tan. Chocolate Ice Cream's had a rough trip, but now finally gets through, and they come charging down that Canterbury stretch, and River Rose takes the lead. River Rose from Chocolate Ice Cream, who now gets out and is flying into the final furlong. Look at Chocolate Ice Cream surging. Chocolate Ice Cream, River Rose, Chocolate Ice Cream. They hit the wire. Chocolate Ice Cream didn't melt and got all the money. And they're off. Slow start for Alquani. Alquani crawls out of the gate. Princess Livia just the opposite, along with Costa Fortune, and the speed duel is on. Faded Memories, the gray, tracking those from 3 lengths back. Outside of that one is Later Days. White Lies, the favorites, inside and got 7 to make up. Then we come to Big Andy looking to close in from 8 back, and at the back of the pack is Alquani, and Costa Fortune and Kelsey Haar put that ponytail in front and lead by 3/4 of a length. Princess Livia and Rye Eckleberry, the jock looking to win back-to-back races, is trying to press that one. Faded Memories, the long shot, is unwinding and within 5 lengths, and on the inside, White Lies catches the eye. White Lies is on the move, but Costa Fortune's getting loose. Costa Fortune by 4 all of a sudden. Princess Livia left in the wake of a keen turn of speed by Kelsey Haar and Costa Fortune. Princess Livia tries to re-rally. White Lies still making that sustained move on the inside, and they charge down the Canterbury stretch, and Costa Fortune is still there, but White Lies is coming. Costa Fortune, White Lies right on by. What a ride by Lindy Wade. White Lies from way back and into the winner's circle. It finishes 1, 4, and 5. All set. And they're off. Tardy start for Seeking Refuge. Fast start for Fayette Warrior, who grabs that early lead, joined by Cramden. And from the outside is Outrun the Posse. In between horses comes Palace Prince. Inside of that one is Sierra Hotel. And then a trifecta of trailers led on the inside by Unbroken Song. And on the outside of horses is Violin Maker. They bank into that first turn, and Cramden and Alonzo Quinones grab that lead and open up a 2-length cushion from Fayette Warrior. Outrun the Posse goes for a run on the outside. Lindy Wade and Palace Prince are in among horses. Then we come back to Sierra Hotel and Rye Echoberry, content to trail by 5. Outside of that one is Seeking Refuge. The Grays are right together. Unbroken Song is there, and at the back of the pack is Violin Maker. A fast opening quarter mile that goes in 22-4 for Cramden. And Cramden now has that lead trimmed down to a length as Palace Prince is sharp right now and cutting into that lead. Fayette Warrior scrapes the paint. In between horses comes Sierra Hotel, and behind that one comes Unbroken Song. Violin Maker starting to unwind, but still has 7 lengths to make up, and the complexion changes dramatically as Sierra Hotel is making a bold move, and Sierra Hotel and Rye Echoberry right up from third to the lead at the top of the stretch. Cramden has no answer, and Sierra Hotel is straight and strong and charging down that Canterbury stretch. Sierra Hotel with that bold move. Now the closers get their chance, led by Violin Maker and Unbroken Song, but they're into the final football field. Race over. It's Sierra Hotel in front. And they're off. The field came off to a perfect dispatch, and out of the chute they come. Morg's World showing speed. Morg's World on the inside, conspicuous near the lead, joined in kind by Desert Glow. Outside of that one is Indy Star, and here comes Off Ramp to intensify things. The favorite, Morg's World, content to let those 3 battle, in the last horse away predictably is Maury's Joy, and they're strung out as they run by the judges and speed into that first turn. And it's Maury's Joy to the inside, joined by Off Ramp to the outside. They go 22-2 for that opening quarter mile. Desert Glow tracking from 4 lengths behind. A couple lengths more back to Morg's World, and then we come back 4 more lengths back to Intense Company. Rolling Blackout's got 10 to make up. On the outside of that one is Secret Hideaway. Through from the inside is Maury's Joy, who's out of last, and that makes Jewel Azul the last in line. 15 lengths from front to back, still very strung out through a 46 flat half mile. And Indy Star still leads it, but leads it by just a half length from Off Ramp. Now the closers are getting closer, including Desert Glow, and there goes the favorite. Morg's World is on the move. Morg's World's within 2. Behind that one comes Maury's Joy. Maury's Joy was last just a few moments ago. Now within 3 lengths, so is Intense Company, and they bunch up around that turn, and Morg's World is trying to put the neck in front. Still there is Indy Star. In between horses is Off Ramp. Top of the Canterbury stretch they come. Morg's World to the lead, joined by Maury's Joy to the outside. Into the final furlong. Maury's Joy to the outside. Inside is Morg's World. Behind them is Intense Company. Maury's Joy from last, trying to get to first. Morg's World on the inside, trying to hang with that one. Maury's Joy got it done. And they're off. They came off to a perfect dispatch. The favorite, Dynamometer, shows speed, but not quick enough to keep up with the firster in the midnight hour, who speeds away to take a short lead. Through from the inside comes Hunter Jumper. Outside of that one, Jeremiah, and the last horse away is Stun Gun. And the favorite, Dynamometer, takes the lead away and leads it by a neck. Hunter Jumper right there from the inside. Gap of 3 lengths to Wildcat Sky, who skims the inside. Jeremiah on the outside of that one. Then we come back to Speedy Daredevil. Through from the inside is LL's Classy Dude. Jeremiah's going the wrong way, doing the moonwalk. Badly Stun Guns trying to wind it up from 12 lengths behind this tearaway leader. And it's Rye Echoberry and Dynamometer. And Dynamometer opens up a 2.5 length lead. Hunter Jumper and Lindy Wade all out after that one. From the back of the pack is LL's Classy Dude, who catches the eye. The others have got a lot of work to do. Rye Echoberry, the hot jockey, sets this one down for the stretch drive, and Dynamometer responds and responds nicely. The lead's up to 5. Dynamometer gonna break the maiden here with an impressive win, opening up a 6-length lead. Hunter Jumper tried to keep up. On the outside is LL's Classy Dude, and Speedy Daredevil. Nobody was beating Dynamometer. And they're off. The Minnesota Moon came off nicely. So did Western Reserve. In between horses is My Owner's Broke from the far outside. Relentless Babe. The Minnesota Moon takes the lead. Charging on the outside is Shrimpy. Shrimpy and My Owner's Broke. Minnesota Moon still there. Shrimpy charging. Too tight. Too tight to call.
Hello, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the races. Racing at Canterbury Park, where the main track starts muddy, and the turf races have been shifted to the main track. A jigsaw puzzle of program alterations. They begin in race 1, and here they are. In the first race, scratch numbers 1, Climb and Maintain, and 5, Our Bubbly Boy. Race 1, scratch 1 and 5. With those scratches, no show, try, or superfecta wagering in the first. To the second race, this one off the turf, distance okay. In the second race, scratch numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Dreaming Biz, Lindsay Luck, Looking So Lucky, Hurricane Hunter, all stayed in their barns. 1, 2, 3, and 4 out, with those scratches relegated to a quartet. So no show, try, or superfecta wagering. In the third race, number 1, New Dice, picked up by Lindy Wade. Wade rides number 1 in race 3. Now to the fourth race, off the turf, distance okay, 1 mile okay. In the fourth, scratch numbers 1, It's a Boy, 8, Giant Payday, 9, Ben's Malice, and 10, Atomic Candy. Number 5, Treasure Run, is now ridden by Miguel Arroyo. Fifth race, off the turf, distance okay. This is where the 10% takeout pick 5 begins. And in the fifth race, number 2, Miss Tater Tot, is ridden by Carlo Lopez. Race 5, number 2, Miss Tater Tot, picked up by Lopez. Race number 6, scratch numbers 2, Cha, and 5, Elsie's Kid. Race 6, beginning the final pick 4. Scratch numbers 2 and 5. In tonight's 7th race, we are off the turf. The distance of 5/8 is okay. Scratch numbers 1, and Isles, 4, Heating Up, and 10, Naughty Naughty. Race 7, scratch numbers 1, 4, and 10. Number 3, Moonshine Moxie, now ridden by Alonzo Quinones. 8th race, Saturday penultimate. Scratch numbers 4, Herbie, and 6, Awesome Emmett. Nice. Scratch numbers 4, Herbie, and 6, Awesome Emmett. Number 2, He Could Go All the Way, ridden by Miguel Arroyo. And in the 9th race, number 1, I Think I Love You. The rider is Miguel Arroyo. Scratch number 7, Little Luna. That's it. We promise. But for now. Muddy main track, no turf racing. Today at the races, a free handicapping show for those of you here in Shakopee or viewing and listening abroad, featuring one of our handicappers and a vital member of the STEAM team, Miss Angela Herman.
Well, welcome to a very humid, warm Saturday here in Shakopee. We're glad to have you along with us here for 9 races at Canterbury Park. Now, we do have lots of changes to go with tonight, lots of changes for our scratches, surface changes, but still an interesting puzzle to handicap. And to do it right along with me, the man that you get to listen to say outhouse every day before the races, the outhouse master, Paul Allen.
Why can't I be the penthouse master? And after I hang 7 winners on you tonight, you're going to be looking for that penthouse, aren't you?
Well, I just thought that maybe I would pile on the Hambletonian steam, but we're over that.
I think you see, I just bet largely for me on a harness race. And it's the first time I bet a harness race in quite some time. But I'm a member of the steam team, so when I get steam, I bet. And it's okay, because I wouldn't be in this spot right now if I didn't live in Private Hill Apartments in Oxon Hill, Maryland, in the shadow of D.C. until I was age 14, overlooking Rosecroft Raceway, which was a harness track. And my first favorite horse was called Come On Fred. My first favorite announcer was Robin Burns, and Come On Fred would be in last, and he'd always say, "Come on, Fred!" And I just got bit at like 12 or 13. I started betting way too largely, and that's why I am the way I am now.
So Fred would come from the outhouse to the penthouse.
Well, it's harness racing, so
Okay.
I mean, it all depends on,
The lightning lane,
predestination, or just yeah. I mean,
slingshot moves.
There might have been a Tetrick riding it. It
Pocket
might have been
trip.
a son of some form of Hanover lineage, but I don't care about Come On Fred anymore. I care about the I just lost on a harness race.
Perfect. Well, now that we've got that out of our systems, we're going to try to give you as many winners as we can through this 9-race card, but we also have other resources for that. If you have a program with you and you see that you want Track Phantoms picks, but they might not be what you were looking for date-wise, these are available at the information centers on the 1st and the 3rd floor. These are the updated picks for Track Phantom, as we do have lots of changes. I think 18 scratches in exactitude. We have lots of jock changes to go along with it, too. So as we go through this program, make sure you have your pens, pencils, chalk, whatever writing utensil of choice, and make note of all the changes that we do have throughout this card. So we have 9 of them. And Paul, I wanted to know your impressions. We have lots of sprints tonight, but did you get any impressions with this card in comparison to some of the other ones that we've had since coming back from the break?
Well, I mean, there are so many scratches, and we're off the turf, so, what I thought it would be when I handicapped it on Thursday, it's not. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean you can't win. In fact, those who do it for a living or follow it closely, Angela certainly would be one, I'm going to sit out the first couple of races, and I want to see how this main track plays. Uh-huh. It's muddy, and I don't think it's going to dry out fast. And so therefore, recently, the last time that we had a precipitously wet track, the rain came in the middle of the day, so we weren't able to seal it, I don't believe. And the one path, for whatever the reason, it was unbelievable.
Golden. In
the stretch. Now, on the back stretch, I got no idea. But so look for that. Just look for where horses in the stretch seem to be feeling their feet the best and coming on fast. So I'm going to look for that.
Well, in general, when you are playing our main track when it's wet, we haven't had many instances of it this year. Mm-hmm. We just haven't had that much rain, period, in Minnesota, well, at least in Shakopee. But in past years where we've had consistent wet tracks, what have you typically looked for, whether it be an angle with barns, whether it be speed, whether it be riders? What is it that you look for first when you're handicapping a wet Canterbury track?
Great question, because the track was sealed. I mean, they seal a track. When I called races in Northern California, when this big thing would roll around, in essence just rolling the track, we'd call it the carryover maker, because the weather in Northern California was so much more unpredictable than here. Same device, but what it does, it causes the water to splatter off the hard track and not really absorb as much as if it were a cut up track. With all that said, in the early stages of the card, I'm going to look for early speed, and I'm going to find horses that I believe will get to the lead and open up, hopefully multiple lengths, and until I see horses pass, that's going to be the angle early in the card.
Fair enough.
How about you?
Well, I look for the same thing. Obviously, early in the card, I think that our track is not going to be as cut up, as you said. But as I get later in the card, and we do have some more veteran-type sort of fields, some more of the blue-collar types, if they've proven that they're willing to run into mud and they like a muddy surface, I'm not going to toss them aside just because they don't have early speed. I'm going to see how well they take to this particular surface. And, I mean, maybe I might not know that today. I might know it going forward. But if they've handled other tracks coming from behind and they don't mind getting a little dirt kicked in their face, I won't hold that against them, and I'll probably get a better price because they're closers.
Excellent point. Now, it just triggered me when you're like, certain riders or whatever, and I'm like, well, I mean, they need to ride it too and figure out lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 where they want to be. However, we have a colony this year that, as I tell the guys when I get a chance to speak with them, it's one of the most competitive jockey colonies that I've ever seen in my 28 years calling here. Like, I can make a big win bet on Zeke Laura, who doesn't have as many wins as Luis Fuentes, and all the riders in between. I just trust them in certain situations. Now, Rye Eccleberry is a 3-time champion rider, and Rye has ridden here longer than pretty much all of them, if not all of them. So the answer to that second part of the question, Ms. Angela, would be Eccleberry knows where the bones are buried on this track more so than others.
Right.
Now, Lindy won 80 last year, and he's super smart. He was the leading rider, so Lindy will pick up on that. Kelsey comes through on the inside and utilizes the inside about as well as any rider here. I mean, she saves ground as well as anybody. So the inside has a tendency to be good when this track starts drying out. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, well, there's a few angles that you can start your day off with and use them accordingly and adjust with the track. Like he said, it's cloudy out. It's not that breezy. We just had a small breeze kick up, and it's humid. It's not the ingredients for drying out a wet track, so I don't know how much of a change that we'll see, and it might be very goopy, Offerman, by the end of this day. Now, let's dig into the first. This one was scheduled for the main track, and we go 6 furlongs in race 1. We have scratches of both 1, Climb and Maintain, and 5, Our Bubby Boy, and that result cancel show wagering, trifecta wagering, superfecta wagering. We have 4. We do have some speed in here, but which direction did you go in the first?
I'm going to take number 3, the Z-Man, and I'm going to pick a 3, 4, 6. Play the 50-cent post-time pick 4, okay? Those of you who either come and have heard this and don't understand it, or you're new to the racetrack, why it encourages you or behooves you to even play just a 50-cent ticket, 1 horse in each race, 10% takeout. We've done that all year. It's lowest in the country. We've seen pick 4s pay $1,000, where if our takeout was on par with other tracks, they'd pay like, I don't know, $680, $690. So play that post-time pick 4. I'm going to play it. No win bet here for me. I don't think the race is very compelling. I'm going to take the Z-Man and get some early speed and see how this track plays. What about you?
Well, fair enough. I took American Union. I think he'll probably be the favorite, but this one gave Yesteryear all he could handle last time down the stretch. Yep. Now, Yesteryear showed a ton of speed that day, ran out of his skin. He's a 6.5 specialist. American Union was changing some things up, but ran very well in defeat. He only came up half a length short, and he's one that you're going to want to watch behind us when he comes into the paddock. He was very hot that day. If he can keep himself a little bit more cool, stay a little bit more level-headed, and keep his race in the race rather than before it, I think that American Union can come up with the win in here, and I took it 4, 6, and 3. Now we move on to race number 2. We got another short field in this one because we do have scratches. It is off the turf. Remember, off the turf for race number 2 and the rest of our card. Scratch the 1, Dreamy Biz, the 2, Lindsay Luck, the 3, Looking So Lucky, and the 4, Hurricane Hunter. So again, with 4, I assume you look for pace, but where did you think it would come from?
I picked this one 6, 5, 7. It's a shame number 2, Lindsay Luck, scratched. I really, really like that filly with a forgiveness angle play on a wet track. But the breeding for the wet track was good, but nevertheless they scratched. So I'm going to mark that one down and wait for another day. I'm going to try Daigle. And Daigle has early speed, and Daigle's run several times this season, keeps getting close. We had a distanced Van Doff problem last time. That was a month ago. Yeah, that's pesky, especially when you have win money at 5-2. But with Daigle, with Miss Conning riding, we have some works since. I don't know whether they were good or bad, but nevertheless, Daigle off the distance Van Doff did not go on some red flag drop. And I respect that from Tony Rengstorff. So Daigle is consistent, and Daigle has a wet track win and speed. And you can bet, again, super competitive rider colony. I can make, if I want to bet 100 to win on Daigle, I can do it with Crystal Connon because our jockey colony is just that good. 6-5-7. I know you like that 5.
I do. I like Aunt Ruthie a lot, and I think that Aunt Ruthie getting back to her dirt roots where she won her first, not routes, where she started off her career with 2 wins. I think she's faster than Daigle, and I think that Aunt Ruthie hopefully gets the signal from Robertino Diodoro to tell Carlo Lopez, just hit the gas and go and make them try to beat you. I think that Aunt Ruthie might be one of the best, if not the best, that remains in this field of 4. And obviously she's apt to dirt racing. So if she can get out there, not get mud kicked in her face, I think that she'll appreciate getting back to the main track, and she'll have a little bit more, I guess, gas late now that she does come off the turf course, and she did have that 2-turn experience last time around.
Is that a single for you?
I don't think it's a single. I don't know how heavy I'm going to play this pick 4, but...
Well, you took all my money for the Del Mar mandatory pick 6 payout thing, so I might not even be able to play.
There's some good races out west. If this doesn't intrigue you and you want something to do in between them, there are some very good races out west. I'm not going to endorse those too much, but I mean, it's Del Mar. It's been one of the best meets all year. Back to Aunt Ruthie, though. I took it 5, 6, and 8. I think that it does come down to her and Daigle. They might just race away from the rest of them, and I'm hoping that maybe Aunt Ruthie can last the 2 turns now that she does have a couple races behind her off the bench. Race 3 was also scheduled for the main track. 5.5 furlongs the distance in here. Make the rider on the 1, New Dice, Lindy Wade. Now that we do have a field intact, this one is kind of a headache for me because there's a lot of the same kind of horses who have had their chances, who have a little bit of speed, but have not figured out how to finish the drill. Where do you go in the 3rd?
You know, I know you took Silent Sailor. I took that one 3rd. I took it 3-2-7, and really any of those 3 can win. But with Bond. This would be a by faith play because Bondu has yet to finish in the top 3. We've had some problems along the way, and I saw improvement last time when I watched back his race with trouble, where I just think he's improving, and I can't say that for necessarily all of them in this race. Now, Silent Sailor has that early speed that you're probably going to covet on a track like this. And we put blinkers on, so it may be even a little more relaxed. But I'm going to stick with Bondu, maybe at this stage of the equation. Cold Town Road will get out there, show some speed. We got about 3 in here who can show legitimate speed, and I'm hoping Bondu is able to sit off and get the money. I'll bet this one to win if we're 3-1 or higher. 3-2-7, Miss A.
I ended up on Silent Sailor, but not with a whole bunch of conviction because they put the blinkers on him. I just think whoever gets the early lead in here is going to go wire to wire because nobody else in here has shown the affinity to pass everybody. They might pass a couple. They might get all the way up to maybe even the throat latch of a leader, but going by that last horse has been a challenge for everybody. So putting the blinkers on Silent Sailor, putting Alonso Quinones on Silent Sailor, and drawing the outside all led me the way of, I'm sure, a very short-priced maiden winner, but he is the direction that I slightly lean over. Cold Town Road, who has had his chances just like Silent Sailor, and El Jefe Cobb, who I put into 3rd, only had 1 start. They claimed him out of that start. Yep. He didn't run a bad 4th. He only beat 1 home, but it looked very, very typical of a Silva Firster. Some of them pop at big numbers, but most of them do better after a start or 2. He might fall into that pattern, and off the claim, I think that El Jefe Cobb is one that you should give another chance.
The 4th race is off the turf. The distance is okay. Scratch numbers 1, 8, 9, and 10. Miguel Arroyo picks up number 5. So we have a bunch of scratches here, but we keep the superfecta, at least for now. Main track is muddy, and once again, no turf racing. I know you like number 2, Whiskey Plank in here. Guide us through it, please.
I scratched into Whiskey Plank. I don't love him a whole bunch in here, but I don't think that we have many versatile track sort of runners.
Same.
I think, yeah, you might be on the right one with Thick Haze. Thick Haze has done better on our turf course, but he hasn't been abysmal on the main track. Whiskey Plank might be one of those horses. I guess we find out. Maybe we ask the horse himself, can you stand up on a main track? I mean, you hear that with turf horses quite a bit, but I think that Whiskey Plank's speed was the main reason that I pointed in this direction, but it wasn't with Whiskey Plank. Plank all the way.
Yeah.
So I'd just go 2, 4, and 3. But I would rather hear your analysis of Thick Haze than mine of Whiskey Plank.
I mean, I don't have a ton because with Robinson, Cave Hill, Treasure Run, Thick Haze, Exeter, and Whiskey Plank, I got a Minnesotan going against Open. That hasn't been a problem in the past. In fact, June 2nd, Thick Haze was able to beat a similar field and do so with early speed. Comes out of a stakes race featuring the Alligator Hunter and like Hot Shot Kid, but the Alligator Hunter would dust this field. So with that said, Thick Haze was a little overmatched there. And when I'm in a problematic spot like this on a wet track, it's just going to go to the basics. Does trainer Joel Burnt win a lot of races? Yes. Does he use Kelsey Har frequently? No. But if you know Joel, I love that a lot. And Thick Haze has speed and also has wet track breeding that I know. I know like Awesome Again and Distorted Humor. I mean, you got some in the breeding here who were elite wet track horses. So that's kind of how I settled on that one, Angela. 4-3-7.
Okay, 2, 4, and 3. No Whiskey Plank for Paul. I don't really blame you. It was the surface switch not advantageous for many in that spot.
Well, I'll have all in this race, or 5 of them in the post time pick 4.
Okay, fair enough. Now move on to race number 5. We take this one off the turf as well. Distance okay. They're going to go at 5 on the main track. Carlo Lopez picks up number 6, Up Your Game, one that I was interested in second. I ended up on Mia Baby. You ended up on Mia Baby. Why?
Yeah, it's with Mia Baby. Again, I mean, I've just watched Crystal Conning, whether she's winning or losing, give horses fantastic rides and sometimes just get beat. So I'm not going out of my way to take Miss Conning, who did a really good job in the paddock the other evening with Kevin on the microphone.
She did awesome.
Yeah, she was great, dynamite. And but again, I mean, we got broken record terrorism here. Rider on whom I can count. Early speed, wide open race, not a bunch of world beaters in here looking to get their first victory, and now third off a pretty significant layoff. So it's as we lay them down here, Eckleberry on the inside. People on a Saturday at Canterbury, they're going to bet Eckleberry because they know the name. And like with Crystal Conning, not many people are super familiar with her, so you tend to get better odds. That played into it too. So I'm going to go 3-5-9. I give number 4 9 crowns. A bit of an outside shot here, but why you like Mia Baby?
I do like Mia Baby because I think she's speed of the speed, but we'll find out if she does the same thing on the main track that she does on the turf. Turf had really elevated her game, but her first 2 starts were on the main track, so I don't hold those against her too much. I mean, she's in the 3rd start of her form cycle. He puts in 2. Silva's put in a couple pairs tonight, at least a couple. And I thought that Mia Baby, I gave the slight nod to over Swirling Wine, his other horse in here. But I did want to talk a little bit about the firster, Up Your Game. There's 2 of them right next to each other. There's quite a few more works for Up Your Game. And he's by a sire who's very good first time out. 6 for 26, 23%, but only one of them was an older horse. This is the first foal out of the mare. And Ty Garrett runs second a lot with his first time starters, but they're at a price. So if Mia Baby comes up a little bit light on the board for you, I'm sure she will. I'm sure she's going to get bet down in here. Maybe consider using the 6 and some exactas, some tries, some supers. If you don't like the appearance of him in here, or you just think that maybe he'll need the start, he's a little green, he's a little nervous, something like that, they still typically run well early from this barn. So Up Your Game with that breeding and with those connections could be a price that you could add into your verticals. Now this does start off the pick 5. The late pick 4 will go in race number 6. I'll be up in the studio to chat about it with you. This one is on the main track, 2 and 3, 2 Cha and 3 in the Misty out of this one. And in race number 6,
easily entertained.
Stop it. We agree again on All Native. And All Native, not really like Mia Baby, but coming from turf to dirt, is one who's intriguing on that change because she hasn't done it in so long. But I remember sitting out on the finish line the day that All Native debuted, and word was very much out on her. People knew that All Native could run, even though she was on the main track and she's turned into a good turf horse. Yes, they very much knew that All Native was a runner, and she performed just fine on the main track. It's just a matter of whether or not she can keep herself close enough, I think, but I think that she'll have the pace to run down, and I like the drop, the change, everything that was sort of moving around for All Native.
Brilliantly laid out. All Native has never beaten non-Minnesotans. So we have 3 victories, and they've all come against state-bred competition. Now, the last 3 have been against open company, markedly better than this. But when you get down to 12-5 and below here at Canterbury, I mean, they're kind of... they're kind of all the same, even though the class levels are different. I don't, my picks here are 4-8-7. I'm not betting that 4 to win. I don't trust her. But, with Eckleberry riding, I have no problem with that. But I need to, in the pick 4 and or pick 5, use several in here and try to figure out who's going to be favored, like Milligan, Mike, and me. I mean, that horse might be favored. I didn't take in the top 3, which is an indicator that I think the filly's vulnerable.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with all native in very lukewarm fashion. The A.
Well, and I will mention that Briar Thicket, the horse that I chose third, and I believe, did you take her second?
Yeah.
The 8. She's one of those horses that performed well last time when it was a muddy surface and came from way out of it. So even though she doesn't have any speed, Briar Thicket has proven that she likes a little bit of moisture in the track, and thus I did include her in everything.
Let's see, Briar Thicket's style plays off of, if you just joined us, what Angela said earlier, where in the history of wet tracks at Canterbury, when it's sealed, like today, early in the card speed, but if that thing doesn't dry out and stays thick, muddy, and goopy. They come from off the pace, and they come from like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of it, and that's how you get parimutuel puzzlers. And this could be one, though.
Good. Okay, though. Now, race 7, off the turf. Imagine that. 5 furlongs is the distance. It's okay. This one was one of my strongest opinions of the day. We scratched the 1, and Isles, the 4, Heating Up, and the 10, Naughty Naughty. Make the rider on number 3, Moonshine Moxie, Alonso Quinones. That's again one of 2 from the Silva camp. And I lean towards the outside one, Ghost of Genevieve. For the 3rd time in a row, oh goody, we agree. But I'm going to be talking more about Ghost of Genevieve a little bit later in the angle, but what do you like about her?
I'm not going to step on your touchdown call known as the angle because I saw the same thing at the start. And Ghost of Genevieve has really good early speed. If you, David Miller, who does the comments here for Equibase, is splendid. He's fantastic. But there's just not enough room to the far right of the past performance to properly explain what happened to Ghost of Genevieve. Bye, Mousy. Good luck today, okay?
Bye.
Go. Oh, you're not leaving? It was just a sneeze? God bless you.
Stop it. Always.
But bumped start, lost irons does it justice, but then you see a last place finish, so you're like, okay, there was nothing that was like recovered or made up or anything, and for the most part you'd be right. But to see that start and to even know the horse stayed in the race and then stayed even with them the rest of the way, that was massive for me. This is probably my only win bet tonight, depending on the odds. That's my reason. What about you, or you want to save it later for the angle?
No, I mean, it's okay. I agree with you on Ghost of Genevieve. I mean, the athleticism that she showed to stay up and that he showed to stay on. Yeah. I mean, Ghost of Genevieve gets that one as a throw out for me. But she drew the outside now. Now that the outside horse is scratched, she has her stablemate with her. And one of the other interesting points for me with Ghost of Genevieve is she's skipping a condition. So Minnesota breds get non-3 out of this. Yeah. Everybody else gets non-2.
Great point.
So if she wins this, even if it's on the main track, she can go do it again. And if you got this field to fill at 10, he's thinking, I'm sure, they're going to write it back in 3 weeks for whoever doesn't win it, but she can go back in it if she wins and do the exact same thing. Very interesting note for me on Ghost of Genevieve, and I think kind of a shrewd entry on his part. I think she's very live in that spot. You think it's not?
No, I think it's fantastic. Race number 8 is the Saturday penultimate. That's what Angela calls it in the business. Number 2, he could go all the way, is ridden by Miguel Arroyo. Scratch numbers 4 and 6. I am on number 3, Most Satisfactory, and I took Buckster Hooter when all the horses were in the race. When Awesome Emmett scratched, we lost a fair amount of speed. Yeah. Buckster Hooter stuck me last time and stuck the chaser. But this Broberg-Eckleberry thing, I mean, whether around the country, Rye is Carl's go-to rider. And Rye has 6 wins this week, and Broberg has a bunch too. So this tandem is hot. But nevertheless, Most Satisfactory is my selection. Why you like Buckster Hooter?
I have to quote Kevin real quick wherever he is. Buckster Hooter's in every single set of PPs that we've ever printed out this year. He's either a main track only and also eligible, or today he'll run. Buckster Hooter is another horse who has shown a good closing kick on a wet track. Yep. Not always the case, but Buckster Hooter doesn't mind it. He likes going a mile. He likes it here. Yep. He and Rye can save a little ground. I'm sure Rye will love all the mud he gets in his face, but Buckster Hooter, I think, is in a good position in here to pick up some speed that I think, I wish that Herbie and Awesome Emmett had stayed in, but I think your horse, I think he could go all the way. Maybe even Alley Cat and Shotgun Rider go up there and make things okay for Buckster Hooter down the stretch.
Most Satisfactory is the chaser's bit, and there are 3 things in here here the chaser needed to see to add up to get to the win wager. So this is going to be a win bet for me, unless we get, 9 to 5, 2 to 1, which would be ridiculous. But I'm going to pick a 3-9-8 and bet that 3 to win a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see what happens with Buckster Hooter.
Okay, race 9.
They're heading out.
Okay.
Go ahead, race 9. What do you got? I got race 9. I got 596, 596. What about you, girl?
815, 815. Scratch Little Luna. Make Arroyo the rider on I Think I Love You.
Aw.
That's who we like for the 9 races today. They do head out for race number 1. This is leg 1 of our 10% takeout. Post time pick 4. That is coming up next. Remember, no show, no trifecta, no superfecta wagering in the first. The quartet will be at the gate in approximately 8 minutes. Good
For
luck.
Angela Herman and everybody in TV, I'm Paul Allen. Enjoy yourselves today. CanterburyPark.com to save money on admission. Family Day tomorrow. Deeply into the second half of the season. If you plan on coming out here, you better make plans soon because we're going to be gone in about a month and a half. Welcome to Canterbury Park for the 9-race program provided by Michelob Golden Light and Cutwater. Our featured groups on this sticky Saturday include Minnesota Inland Commercial Fishermen Associates, Whitney, Skin Rejuvenate Company, Think Minnesota Realty's Day at the Races, the Falstrom Family Reunion, Stephanie's Bachelorette Party, Advanced Surveying and Engineering Company, and the CHS team. 3 minutes, muddy main track. Good luck. The runners are arriving at the starting gate, and it is now post time for the first at Canterbury Park. Relegated to 4 with the muddy main track for the first at Canterbury Park. Those of you on track, welcome and enjoy. Those of you taking in the signal from abroad, thank you very much. Good luck in the post-time pick 4. American Union, 3-5 favorite. The penultimate to load. And now turn the switch. Last in. It's a Saturday at CBY, and they're Racing. And the post time pick 4 with the nation low 10% takeout started splendidly. Turn the Switch looks to win 2 in a row, and Turn the Switch with 3-time champion Canterbury rider Rye Eccleberry assuming command. The Z-Man is being ridden to keep up with that 6, and now they travel in perfect harmony, and Miguel Arroyo is able to get a good hold on the 3. American Union tracks beautifully and is being angled to the outside by Chirinos. Here comes American Union with a rush and not even asked to run. We have 3 in a line with 5/16 to go. After that, Magic Carpet looking to get a ride from 8 out of it. American Union has gone swooping from 3rd right up to the lead with a quarter of a mile to go, and it's American Union putting 1.5 on the other 3. And as they splash for home, American Union opens up by 3, make it 4. After that, the Z-Man between them, Turn the Switch, and Magic Carpet from behind, but it's going to be American Union who proved to be quite slippery when wet. Number 4, American Union in 111.14 over the Muddy Main. 4-2-3-6 unofficial. The first is official. Number 3, the Z-Man, was claimed for $5,000. The new trainer, Chris Richard. The new owner, Jason Toterum. Richard wins a 2-way shake for the Z-Man for Toterum. Race number 2 is about 20 minutes from now. We are off the turf. Main track muddy. Distance for the second, okay. Scratch numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 will not compete in race 2. The second race, we do not have show, try, or superfecta wagering. Atomic Data is the preferred IT solutions provider of Canterbury Park. And race number 2 is courtesy of Appellados. American Union makes his wet track debut, a victorious one, wins for the first time this year after a $60,000 to 2021, and American Union finds the winner's enclosure with jockey Roymus Chirinos, the winning owner, Greg Irwin, and the winning trainer, Cody Rosine. American Union. DBY, and they're racing. And the post-time pick 4 with the nation low 10% takeout started splendidly. Turn the Switch looks to win 2 in a row, and Turn the Switch with 3-time champion Canterbury rider Rye Eccleberry assuming command. The Z-Man is being ridden to keep up with that 6, and now they travel in perfect harmony, and Miguel Arroyo is able to get a good hold on the 3. American Union tracks beautifully and is being angled to the outside by Chirinos. Here comes American Union with a rush and not even asked to run. We have 3 in a line with 5/16 to go. After that, Magic Carpet looking to get a ride from 8 out of it. American Union has gone swooping from 3rd right up to the lead with a quarter of a mile to go, and it's American Union putting 1.5 on the other 3. And as they splash for home, American Union opens up by 3, make it 4. After that, the Z-Man between them, Turn the Switch, and Magic Carpet from behind, but it's going to be American Union who proved to be quite slippery when wet.
The first quartet of the day have crossed the line, and now we're on to the second one in race number 2. Remember, we scratched the inside 4 runners on this one. Move it to the main track. The distance is okay. That will go a mile and a 70 in here. And your 4 to 5 favorite now inherits the rail. That's why I ended up on here. Aunt Ruthie, just 5 starts behind Aunt Ruthie, and there was a big gap last year. Well, from last year to this year, she had to take over a year off. That was the first time we saw her at Canterbury. That was at 1 turn. Now, she did get in a 2-turn race last time around on the turf. Now that they come to the main track, that's where she started her winning ways, down at Turf Paradise. She won 2 in a row on the front end. This filly probably does have the speed still, I would imagine, to go out there and take this field wire to wire. But it's not out of the question to get some pressure from the horses just to her outside. Daigle and She's Wonderful both have shown some sort of speed at different points in their lives. Aunt Ruthie has just shown it more consistently. And now that she gets back to 2 turns on the main track, I think that this is the kind of race where she's going to probably win her first 2-turn try. Daigle comes off the turf course as well, where she's done very well in her career up here at Canterbury. Prior to that, she had run on the main track here, at Oaklawn and at Delta. None of those races went quite as well, but she did show speed in most of them. She and Crystal Conning will team up for the first time, as Lindy Wade had been her regular partner. Last time she got pulled up on the turf course, not sure if it was the heat or what got to Daigle that day, but prior to that she had run winning races in this sort of setting on the grass. Now she can carry that over to the main track, and she has won on a wet track before. Daigle is probably the one that they all have to run down. She is 4-1 right now, as is the filly right next door, She's Wonderful. Now, She's Wonderful had taken a field almost wire to wire, going 1 turn last September at Arlington Park on synthetic. This is a whole different ball game, as she's going to touch a wet track for only the 3rd time in her life, but she has been closing in steadily at Hawthorne, and last time around when she was on the turf here at Canterbury, that was going 7.5. A little more real estate probably won't be any problem for this daughter of Flat Out. She won a couple of times last year, but again, the last time that she hit pay dirt, it was on a synthetic racetrack and it was going just 1 turn. She's Wonderful could hold the key to the race, though. If she does bring that same speed to the table, she could make life very hard on Aunt Ruthie to her inside, and even Daigle in between them, which would set things up for the filly on screen right now. That's Prance. Prance tried the main track last time. She was beaten a couple of lengths. She was never really in a different spot throughout the running under Zeke Lara. She's going to do the same thing today, probably on the outside. It was a very good setup for her that day, and she just really couldn't make up a whole bunch of ground in the stretch. She was just to the outside of the eventual winner. Styling and profiling went by everybody. She kind of stalled out in 3rd, but if Prance does get that set up with She's Wonderful and Daigle maybe going after Aunt Ruthie, she could sit in the catbird seat the entire time, and currently she is 5-2. With those scratches of the inside 4, remember, we have no super, we have no try, we have no show wagering in this second race of the day, and when they come out from the saddling enclosure, they are going to walk straight to the track, as it is rather mucky out here, and they're going to get out to the main track in approximately 5-6 minutes, and they'll go to the gate for race number 2. Good luck keeping that post-time pick 4 going. The second, again, has limited options. Do check them out. We'll have more as the card goes on, as we do have less scratches. For now, this group of 4 is going to head out to the track momentarily. Good luck.
That is Sir Leonard Dykert on a Saturday. And the call to the post brings the runners onto the track for the second. They are on a main track listed as muddy. Distance okay with the off the turf. Scratch 1, 2, 3, and 4. No show try or superfecta wagering. Good luck. They're at the gate, and it is post time for the second at Canterbury Park. Aunt Ruthie, 3-5 in favored. Prance, 2.5 to 1. To back. She's wonderful.
Got a horse back!
Prance. Set.
You're locked.
And now, away they go. She's Wonderful at 5-1 wins the start, but now flashing terrific speed is Daigle to the outside of Aunt Ruthie, just off the heels of Daigle, as Crystal Conning coyly gets down to the inside and forces Aunt Ruthie to angle to the outside. And meanwhile, She's Wonderful is going with the speedy Daigle, and the one in last is Prance, about 6 lengths from the lead. Around the corner they go, and they're chasing Daigle, and Daigle leads it by a half. In second, She's Wonderful, a length and a half. Then we come back to Aunt Ruthie, 3.5 clear from Prance, and they're covered by 6 still as they splash up the Canterbury Park barnside on the muddy main, and Daigle racing in path 3 leads it by a neck from She's Wonderful. Aunt Ruthie continues to chill to the outside, not asked for run, nearly making it a line of 3, and Prance comes creeping in to be 4 lengths from it. Now they're off the far turn, expect them to cut. Daigle and She's Wonderful lock up. Aunt Ruthie shoves all in, and after that we have Prance beginning to prance in rather coyly. Aunt Ruthie is tailing off. The 5, Aunt Ruthie at 1-2, right back to last, and there goes She's Wonderful. And indeed, She's Wonderful looks wonderful, opening up on Daigle, and that lead is 5, and it's ever widening. After that we come back to Daigle, and then it's Prance, not today for Aunt Ruthie, and as they come down to the final 150, She's Wonderful will win this one, spotless cap to boot. 3 and 8 in race 2. That's 7-8. Number 7, She's Wonderful. First, 7-8, 6-5. In 144.18, it's not official. The second race is official. First double, $13.40. Exacta, $19.10. Race number 3 is 22 minutes from now. Number 1, New Dice, picked up by Lindy Wade. Now with the third race, we feature our Cutwater Trifecta Special. If number 3 in race 3, Bon Dieu, happens to win the race, $3 off Cutwater cocktails the rest of the racing day. Cutwater is located on level 1, right across from Bo Diddley's, offering awesome, delicious subs, salads, and more. But for the purpose of the bit, if number 3, Bon Dieu, wins race number 3, significant savings the rest of the racing night at Cutwater Cocktail, level 1. Winner's enclosure, She's Wonderful. The winning owner, Janice Ely, and the winning trainer, Patty Miller. Race number 3 is provided by Michelob Golden Light. away they go. She's Wonderful at 5-1 wins the start, but now flashing terrific speed is Daigle to the outside of Aunt Ruthie, just off the heels of Daigle, as Crystal Conning coyly gets down to the inside and forces Aunt Ruthie to angle to the outside. And meanwhile, She's Wonderful is going with the speedy Daigle, and the one in last is Prance, about 6 lengths from the lead. Around the corner they go, and they're chasing Daigle, and Daigle leads it by a half. In second, She's Wonderful, a length and a half. Then we come back to Aunt Ruthie, 3.5 clear from Prance, and they're covered by 6 still as they splash up the Canterbury Park barn side on the muddy main, and Daigle racing in path 3 leads it by a neck from She's Wonderful. Aunt Ruthie continues to chill to the outside, not asked for run, nearly making it a line of 3, and Prance comes creeping in to be 4 lengths from it. Now they're off the far turn, expect them to cut. Daigle and She's Wonderful lock up. Aunt Ruthie shoves all in, and after that we have Prance beginning to prance in rather coyly. Aunt Ruthie is tailing off. The 5, Aunt Ruthie at 1-2, right back to last, and there goes She's Wonderful. And indeed, She's Wonderful looks wonderful, opening up on Daigle, and that lead is 5, and it's ever widening. After that we come back to Daigle, and then it's Prance. Not today for Aunt Ruthie. And as they come down to the final 150, She's Wonderful will win this one, spotless cap to boot. 3 and 8 in race 2. That's 7-8.
Welcome back out to the paddock, and congratulations to the Miller Barn. They win another one and win so pretty good price. Alonso Quinones reels off in the stretch. Now we have a race that was actually carted for the dirt and has kept all of its entrants. Lindy Wade picks up the one, but we still have this field of 7 intact. 51 tries between them to try to break the maiden. No convictions to this point. Somebody is going to come home with a win out of race number 3, though. We'll start on the inside with New Dice. New Dice again picks up Lindy Wade for this one. This is start number 16, and 5 of those have been on Canterbury dirt. He's run very well on a wet track in the past, too. This one doesn't have a whole bunch of really speed, but probably won't be that far off the pace. New Dice and Lindy Wade might make a very good team together. A number of riders have ridden this horse in the past, including Lindy, who rode him actually at Houston the last time that they were a team. He was 6th that day, but he was only beaten a length at 36-1. Not bad. And if this horse is one that you think can opportunize a pace meltdown, New Dice right now is at a very fair price of 5-1. Half the price on the horse right next door, 5-2 on Coal Town Road. Coal Town Road, frankly, has burnt a little bit of money at this meet. He has been the favorite 2 out of his last 3 goes, and he was a very low price last time around, too. He's gotten close. He's a heartbreaker, but Coal Town Road does run very well in defeat in any of those. He's run 2nd and then 5th last time around. They did move up to $10,000 claimers, though. Coal Town Road has good speed. I'm going to see if Rye Eccleberry won't get out there and try to take them all the way. Maybe not give this horse a chance to look another one in the eye. Coal Town Road is one of many that have speed in this group, though, and they're heading out to the track right now. Bondu is another one that does have speed. This was Paul Allen's top choice here. Carlos Lopez rode him last time. He was 6th, but Bondu was never that far off the pace. Probably another close contender. Not like the 2 outside. Boston Wally and Peripatetic don't have as much speed. Peripatetic is on the cutback. In fact, both of them are on the cutback. Right now they are 5 and 9-1. 9-2 the price on El Jefe Cobb. Silent Sailor on the outside, 7-2. That's who I landed on. They're already going out to the track. So there you go. There's the numbers up there. The grid's going to follow very shortly. You have approximately 9 minutes to bet race number 3. Win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, supers, doubles, and pick threes. All your choices in here. I don't know if you got 9 minutes. They're heading out to the track right now. That's probably right about on as the raindrops begin to fall here in Shakopee. Good luck in the 3rd.
Hey, anybody out on the apron? We're tossing out t-shirts from the winner's circle. If you need something to change into, your clothes got wet, get a t-shirt right now down by the winner's circle.
They're at the gate, and it is now post time for the third. Moving in now for the third. Drizzly here at Canterbury Park. Quite murky and humid. New dice. First maiden in. And now Coal Town Road. This one is 9-5. Jockey Rye Eckleberry has 6 victories this week, most in the room. Carl Broberg, who frequently employs Eckleberry, 4 wins this week, most for trainers. Movement.
Rider off the 6, guys. We got a rider off the 6.
They're racing. New dice rolled out of the gate a bit slowly. Coal Town Road with really good early speed. Coal Town Road and Boston Wally flash speed. Outside of them on the wide side, Silent Sailor with those blinkers on makes it a line of 3 with 4 to go. Boston Wally right behind them to the inside of Peripatetic. Then we come back to Bon Dieu, who's second last, and at the rear is New Dice. And up top, Coal Town Road runs away by nearly 2. It's Coal Town Road stylishly coming up to the top of the stretch. Silent Sailor is in second. Boston Wally creeps up to the inside of that one. Then we come back to Bon Dieu and Peripatetic. They're far out of it, chasing Coal Town Road. And Coal Town Road still spotless, cap to boot. Eckleberry just peeked back for competition and sees Boston Wally engaging. Here comes New Dice from the back of the pack, looking to make Coal Town Road go 7 out, and it's going to happen. New Dice surging late. Well done. 1, 2, 4 in race 3. Number 1, New Dice, last to first. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 105.77. None of it is official. The third race is official. Trifecta, $33.75. 10-cent superfecta, $29.09. The first pick 3 today paid $13.50. Double from race 2, $18.10. And the 1-2 exacta, $8.50. Fourth race off the turf, distance okay. Scratch numbers 1, 8, 9, and 10. The 5 Treasure Run, now ridden by Miguel Arroyo. The fourth race is courtesy of Maker's Mark and makersmark.com. Also, on level 2, we have a new eating spot called Nacho y Tacho. Tachos are Canterbury's tater tot nachos. So try them out while you're at Canterbury. Nachos, tachos, spicy chicken sandwiches, beef empanadas, Southwest egg rolls, and jalapeno creamed cheese puffs. Also available at Nacho y Tacho. Into the winner's circle, New Dice and Canterbury Park Salt of the Earth, Mr. Lindy Wade. New Dice is owned by Nevada Litvin, who also trains, and Mark Kane. New Dice, 520 in the third. They're racing. New Dice rolled out of the gate a bit slowly. Cold Town Road with really good early speed. Cold Town Road and Boston Wally flash speed. Outside of them on the wide side, Silent Sailor with those blinkers on makes it a line of 3 with 4 to go. Boston Wally right behind them to the inside of Peripatetic. Then we come back to Bon Dieu, who's second last, and at the rear is New Dice. And up top, Cold Town Road runs away by nearly 2. It's Cold Town Road stylishly coming up to the top of the stretch. Silent Sailor is in second. Boston Wally creeps up to the inside of that one. Then we come back to Bon Dieu and Peripatetic. They're far out of it, chasing Cold Town Road. And Cold Town Road still spotless, cap to boot. Eckleberry just peeked back for competition and sees Boston Wally engaging. Here comes New Dice from the back of the pack, looking to make Cold Town Road go 7 out, and it's going to happen. New Dice surging late. Well done. 1, 2, 4 in race 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The remainder of the Saturday card has been canceled amid safety concerns due to the voluminous amount of rain we have received in the Shakopee area all day. So the remainder of Saturday's card has been canceled. Now, regarding wagers that tie into not only race 4, but the rest of the day, stand by and we will have information for you. But amid safety concerns due to rain all day in the Shakopee area and heavy rain, we are canceling the remainder of our card. Stand by for payoff details. Those of you leaving Canterbury Park, please look for a Canterbury representative as you depart, as we are giving you admission passes for the inconvenience of taking a trip to Canterbury, and then due to Mother Nature, we cancel our card. So make sure you leave with an admission pass to be able to come back some other time. Thank you.